Hello everyone, welcome to Unicorn Light Tarot. Sincerely hope everybody is doing amazingly well today. Welcome one and all, whether you are brand new here and you've just clicked on this channel for the first time or you are returning. Welcome, welcome, welcome one and all. As always, we, just as a little, just in case you are new here, we have our magic candle to correspond with all of the beautiful readings that we will have pile 1, 2 and 3 today. So this was made under the eclipse of, I think, the full moon last year, and this is our magic abundance oil. So feel free to use that if you want to let go of any energy, something or someone that needs to move out of your life because you're ready for bigger and better. Then you can release or bring in the energy of abundance and manifestation. However you want to use the candle, it will be all the way through each of the readings. So today we are doing which angel is around you and why. What do they want you to know? Specific messages from your angels. And of course, you know, we're just going to give you specific messages of the angels that come up today. But just as a reminder, you can work with any angel that you want. Never feel as though it's just anything is limiting. Everything is out there for you to choose, whatever you want. And just as a friendly reminder too, because some people forget this, that when you need angels, do ask for their help, because this is a free will zone on earth and they will not intervene unless you ask. So if you need help, just reach out. But we will be speaking to specific angels for messages just for you. So as always, we have 3 piles, and today we have some iconography here to represent each of the piles. So pile 1 is represented by our beautiful Mother Mary, Queen of Angels, here, there, with the Sacred Heart. And then we have a Celtic cross here for our 2nd pile. And for our 3rd pile, we have the Om symbol. So as always, take as much time as you need to. We're going to take in a deep breath right here and now and hold for a second and just let go. The minute you come into your own energy and your own intuition and in this time, like in the moment, that's when these beautiful readings will resonate with you even more, because it's all about your intuition. And remember, tarot readers only tell you what you already know anyway, or confirm what it is that you already know. So take as much time as you need. If you need to go ahead and pause the video to just get back to you, then go ahead and do that. The timestamps will be down below, as they are all the time. So let's go ahead and move right into these readings. I'm gonna take away, just for now, pile 2 and pile 3. So if you picked pile 1, then this is your message, Queen of Mother Mary, Queen of Angels. So we've got the Divine Feminine protecting you, but let's get into more specifics for you. So let's get into which angel is around you at this time, and then we'll get into why. And we'll just move through the reading and see what comes up for you. So which angel? I'm thinking we need to, these 3 keep coming up. So let's do that for you. So first, moon cycle. So you have Archangel Haniel. Notice how the moon affects your energy and manifestations, and capitalize upon these cycles. So you have Archangel Haniel, a beautiful message of beauty and love there too. And also, these are timeless messages, but they are, you know, they are put out there and they are part of the collective energy at a certain time. And we are coming into the full moon in Cancer, as everything is, again, this is actually the night before the full moon comes in. So this is particularly pertinent at this time. So being aware of the cycles, when your energy dips, when you're feeling more heightened, when your emotions are at their best or heightened, and when you feel a little bit more peaceful, all the way through the months, that can really help. And also feeling as though to be very less down on yourself at certain times. You will find, and you can take take measure of this, write it in a journal if you want to, or just be aware of it. There's certain times in the month where your energy might dip, and it will correspond with the moon of the cycle. So the idea is that if you notice this, it's not moving against the energy and then beating yourself up because there's so much that you need to do, but you're at a time where your energy naturally dips. So don't move against the energy. Allow yourself some time to be able to sort of just be yourself and be in your own energy. And if you're aware of when your energy is more up and when it dips, these natural cycles, then you can allow for them every month and say, well, this is, I need to get this done, but I want to take some time for myself here. So let me get this done here and now and X, Y, and Z. So that's your first message. And then take your power back, Archangel Raziel. Use your God-given power and intention to manifest the blessings in your life. Absolutely. We've been talking about this on this channel for a while, and it's a difficult one to get. A lot of people talk about it. It's like the laws of manifestation and all of that. It's easy to say all of this stuff, but if it were that easy, everybody would be great at it, right? And then there wouldn't be 1,000 different courses teaching you how to do it. But we want to remind you here, taking your power back, we want to remind you yet again, and hopefully this is the time that you need to hear this, is that we create our own reality. Whatever is on the external is an indication of what's going on inside. You have complete power over your own energy. You have complete power over your own universe. The energy you put out is absolutely, putting out feelers for you. So and it's not a matter of control, it's a matter of alignment. But taking your power back is merely just a way to get back in touch with yourself and just see what needs to be shuffled around, what needs to be released. It's all at your fingertips. It doesn't need to, if there's a situation that's going on where you have a bad boss or this, that, and the other, there's lots of things that you can do. Nothing is out of your control. So if there's anything that needs to be taken care of, remember there's something that you need to do. You can do it within, even if it doesn't mean action on the outside. There's so much that can be done just by letting go and making peace and accepting within. I have done this so many times where I have transformed friendships and relationships without ever speaking to that person, just by setting them free or whatever right within, and then all of a sudden they're reaching out and this, that, and the other, and I have done literally nothing but work on myself. You have all the power here. So if that's a message for you coming in for you, Pile 1, then that's an extra message for you. And then breathe, Archangel Raphael. So we've got some real breathing, we've got some real energy of healing coming in. Take several deep breaths and exhale slowly to awaken your energy and to release old patterns. Now again, this is just a reminder. I'm sure you're already aware of this, but as we move through our day, and I do this all the time, so I totally understand this, but we tend to shallow breathe and we take it for granted, because our body automatically breathes for us. I swear, if my body did not do it, I probably would die, because taking these shallow breaths when we're moving through our days and we're getting through this and we're getting through that, and then especially if you've come from a series of being in survival mode your whole life, you tend to be a shallow breather. It tends to happen. I mean, of course, not every single person is, but it tends to happen because you're always in survival mode. And what happens is that your body literally feels as though it's constantly on survival mode, because these shallow breaths are telling you that you're ready for action. Something's gonna, the next shoe's gonna drop. This is gonna happen. You're sort of living on the edge. And we take it for granted, but deep belly breaths, really deep breaths, not only does it ground us and it slows us down, but it actually, in a legitimate way, just chills your system, everything that's going on within your body, and it chills out your nervous system, and it reminds your nervous system that we're in the here and now, and there is absolutely nothing to be worried about. So if we can get used to really be in our breath and just really take it very, very deep, take a very, very deep breath, big belly breaths, and just cleanse our organs and remind our bodies that we're not running on empty, we're in thriving mode, We are not in surviving mode. That really does change everything. And there is just this very simple thing that you can do. You can do it on the way to work, even if you're driving or if you're on public transport or whatever it is that you do, anywhere that's like seemingly mundane from A to B. As you're breathing in, you're consciously just drawing attention to breathing in. And as you breathe out, you're pulling all of your attention on the breath out. It keeps you in the here and now. And it really, on a very profound level, reminds you how brilliant your body is and how great breathing is. And it just brings you back and it clears your mind in such a simple way. So this is something, just a really small little thing that you can do also to bring yourself back into your body. And these deep belly breaths too. And as you do it, you can really open up your diaphragm and your lungs and really feel like all of your inner, I was going to say inner monologue on that too, but all of your beautiful inner organs just get cleansed from that breath. And that's a great way for cleansing too out old energy that comes in, especially if you are psychic or empathic or particularly sensitive. This is a great way to keep doing during the day, so you're constantly cleansing from the external. And that's wonderful too, to be able to do that instead of like, just going through your day, going through it, and then at the end of the day going, picked up on everybody else's energy and wondering why you're feeling really low energy. And then you have to go in and just sort of clear everything. So you can just clear through the day as you go. So just a few grounded tips there. So why? So these angels are around you with these messages to help you, these practical messages to help you ground into your day and your life. But let's see what specific messages they have for you. What do they want you to know? Why are they around you? What are you working on right now? Let's go ahead and choose 2 of these. Gorgeousness. Let's see what we have here. So we have ease and grace, moving into ease and grace, and that would come back into the breath too. And then we have clear, cancel, and release. So there's something going on for you right now, Pile 1, about you moving into this new energy of clear energy, really understanding where you begin and somebody else starts, and really expelling the old. And this for you specifically is old mind patterns coming up for you that no longer work for you, and you're absolutely ready to let them go. They were fitted to you, or you took them upon yourself at some point in the past because it was part of your protection apparatus moving forward. So it's totally understandable. And they did protect you for a while. We've talked about this in the last reading that we did. One of the piles, I can't remember now, but all about, as we armor up, sometimes we have to be in situations where we armor up, but as we keep keeping that armor up, we're also sheltering ourselves from good things coming in. And for you being on the verge of possibilities here and opportunities, this is the time for you to take your power back and for you, and we're always giving you very practical ways to implement in your life to move you forward, not just, healing, whatever we can give you. And again, as always, please take what resonates and use your intuition to integrate the stuff if it feels like you want to. These are always just suggestions. You know best, always, and we're never going to tell you anything otherwise. But in the past, you definitely put up these walls and you did these things in order to be able to survive at that time, and that's what you needed to do. Now, for some of you, it was done in the depth of childhood, and that's all you needed. You needed to do that to feel safe one way or another. So you are aware of what all of this is, and you're ready to clear, cancel, and release. We want to remind you it's a little bit easier than you think, even though you know that you no longer need to feel this way about armoring up yourself. And this for most of you is about armoring yourself up against the world. You no longer need to do this. You've done it for so long, you're wondering how it's going to look. So even though you realize that you don't need to do it anymore, there's still a little bit of hesitation about pulling down that armor once and for all, because it's served you to a certain extent. And it's totally understandable to see that, because even though, we're telling you that, you've armored up and a certain amount of beauty's not been able to get to you, and that you understand intrinsically at a soul level. But because you've not really seen that come into fruition in your life, you've not been missing it. So it's like, I do understand when I armor up, I'm safe. And you're telling me that there's great stuff coming. That's wonderful. And it's not like I haven't had good stuff come into my life. I have. But I've got nothing to compare it to. So it seems like I still want to keep safe. So we totally understand that. You're coming into that ease and grace, and you're coming into that peaceful time. So your angels are in and around you now to specifically assist you build it, like taking down those walls brick by brick that you built up. And again, to be specific and just to be completely transparent, you built those walls up because you needed them at the time, and we totally respect the reason why you did it. So, there's a few different things that comes in there. Yes, you have to, they pull down and help you pull down, brick by brick, you're going to start getting angry about what happened. And this is a wonderful thing to do. Now, a lot of people are very afraid of anger. Usually people are afraid of people who are angry, right? Because they feel as though it's directed at them, and they take it personally. But it's very wonderful to be angry, because anger just shows you exactly where you've been disrespected. And it's a part of you that's screaming out, that's saying, we want you to look at this. We want you to have more respect for yourself. So, repressing that anger is not that great. So when this anger comes up, we want you, if it comes up, and when it comes up for some of you, we want you to honor it, because for some of you who has dips and lows and suffers from bouts of depression, it's the repression of anger that's leading to that too. As that anger comes up, you have every right to say, you shouldn't have done that, or I can't believe you did that. Whatever it is that you need to say, you don't have to say it to the person face to face, but allow yourself that anger, because that is your window in to the complete healing. As you come into that anger, you'll be able to clear, cancel, and release, and your angels will be able to help you do that, cut those cords for you. And in that moment, you will be able to take that power back that was taken from you, or that you freely gave away because you didn't know any better, because you were young, or you were in that situation, you weren't thinking clearly. That was the old you, but you did what you needed to do. So there's many different things that are associated with this, but this is what you might be going through now. And if you are, it's a wonderful place to be. Now, it may feel a little overwhelming. It may feel a little much for you. And if you're watching this around when this is going to be uploading around the full moon, we have that, that new moon in Cancer now. That's a lot of emotion coming out with that Cancer new moon. So it may feel a little overwhelming for you, but we want you to stay with it and honor where you are, because this too shall pass, as we always say on this channel. But this too really shall pass. And with, everything that's coming up, if you just breathe through it and work with your angels, we want to remind you that a lot of the shadow work has already been done. This is just a matter of your mind and your inner child feeling very, very safe in order to be able to take down those walls permanently. The walls don't serve you. You're ready to do the work. This is just the last part of it. For some of you, it might feel a little bit like the dark night before the storm. I know every time I pick up a tarot deck, the death card keeps coming up, and it's just the collective energy that's going on. Even though we've had a couple of deaths this week in our space, in our little house in Santa Fe, but regardless of that, it doesn't mean literal death. But there's a death going on with different timelines that's going on right now, and which timelines people are choosing. So there's a sense of endings coming in, with a sense of this renewed moving forward. So, this is just a time for you to stay with it. The dark night of the soul usually comes up just before a brand new beginning comes in. So stay with it. If you're feeling overwhelmed, we're sending you so much support, but you've got this. We promise you, you've got this. So let's get you some tarot too. Let's see where we are with some tarot, get you some extra messages. And don't forget that you chose our beautiful Mother Mary, Queen of Angels too. So she is there. That divine feminine is sending you love there as you move through all of this, sending you support and beauty. I'm going to turn that up. I don't always do that, but I feel as though that's what I'm being asked to do. So And there we go. Let's see what we have here. Renewal. Archangel Jamiel. Review and evaluate. A favorable assessment of the facts. Time to move in a new direction. Absolutely. Now for all of you, look, you absolutely know what this new direction is. You're absolutely ready for it. Renewal. It's another way of saying a new beginning, which I'm not crazy about. These new beginnings, there's always new beginnings. I mean, every day you wake up, that's a new beginning, right? I constantly refer to new beginnings on this channel, but I really love the renewal. That's what we're really talking about, renewal. Every second, every breath is a new beginning. So again, the review and the evaluate is what we've already taken into consideration, what we've already talked about with taking your power back, and you know, this idea of what you'll be gaining if you pull down those beautiful guards that you had, that beautiful wall that you had that protected you. What do you stand to gain? And again, we know that you've got nothing to compare it to, not really. And we can sit here until we're blue in the face telling you that you're owed so much beauty and that so much gorgeousness is going to come to you. But we want you to believe that for yourself, but you've got nothing to compare it to. It's about putting yourself out there first and expecting and trusting the best. You know, so you're under that, you're doing that, you're reviewing, you're evaluating, you're moving forward, you're ready for that new direction. We've got the 5 of water here, we've got the 5 of cups. So, I mean, we've talked about this, you know, you're in the middle of this, the 5 of cups here. Things have not worked out for you in the past, you know, and again, we want you to see the positive in every situation, but we totally understand, how can you see the positive when, you know, we've got the 2 cups up here and the other ones have spilled. Yeah, but the 2 cups are up there and that other cup has so much for you and you've got nothing to compare it to. We totally understand. This is about you trusting yourself, you trusting your blueprint, you trusting your path, and you trusting your angels. And also to remind you not to compare your future with anything that's happened in the past, because that's absolutely happened in the past. That's not the person that you are. You're not going to be attracting that anymore. These half-truths, or only certain things happening, or, you know, it starts to go well and then it falls apart. We totally understand that this has happened to you in the past, and we can tell you that once that wall has come down, you are ready to receive. You're absolutely ready to receive. So we totally understand that you're going through this, and it may cause you a little bit of confusion, but we want to know that you have support there. And if you need Archangel Michael at any time to cut those cords from your past, so you're no longer comparing your present or your future from the past, then, you know, go ahead and do that if you feel like you need to. And we've got the 5 of Pentacles here, fear surrounding money. So you're in that, you've got the 5s going on, fear surrounding money, the wisdom to accept help from others, uncertain self-employment. This is your past stuff. So let's put this up here. This is your past stuff. And we talked about, we just said, so we're just reiterating, you know, things sort of taking off for you, but not going the direction that you wanted, or not going to the heights that you wanted to take it to, or, you know, going to a certain going to a certain height and then falling flat a little bit. We don't want you to compare your present to your past. You can't. Again, you're a completely different person. This renewal, once you are in this state of being completely ready to breathe into your absolute new beginnings here, again, not new beginnings, your renewal here, and to take your power back, you will be in firm beauty of who you are, and knowing that you deserve absolutely everything that you ask for. And you've been working on this all the way through your life, planting those seeds. Again, we have the divine feminine coming in and holding you at this time if you feel as though you're in some kind of void, or feeling as though you're just in a little bit of darkness. Some of you might be experiencing a part of dark night of the soul, but dark night of the soul comes before the dawn. The dawn is coming in. Just means you're getting ready for something big. Remember, don't go down the rabbit hole. You've done the shadow work already. This is just accepting this last part of it before you move forward here. So and moving forward in a new direction. And we want to remind you too that in every moment, if you're present in every moment, you break free from the past and then you create a brand new future. If you keep bringing in your past into every present moment, then as you move into the future, you will have more of that past coming in. So all of this stuff, if you're a little bit worried about things not working out the way that they didn't, all you need to do is come back to the present moment, trust, literally let go of your past, and every moment that comes after that is a brand new beginning and will not hold remnants of your past anymore. It will hold the wisdom and the experience of your past, but it won't hold any of that energy. And you have a brand new renewal waiting for you. Let's do 2 more, feeling a little bit more on this. Okay, we have the moon, which is interesting because you've got moon cycles and the moon. You've got the feminine energy here. So you've got the dark feminine working with you too. And we've got deception, delays, emotions. Well, that's just their version of it. But the moon energy coming in. So there's lots of beautiful energy for you. Lots of magic in the sort of the darkness, and that's where you really got your magic from. That's where you got your power from. So a lot of you have been out of the world a little bit, even before 2020, doing things on your own, sort of in the darkness, working with fear, doing a lot of shadow work, and gaining your power from sort of moon cycles and at night. A lot of you probably love that moon sort of illumination, and that's wonderful for you. So you really are influenced by the moon. It's a lot of power there, a lot of spell work coming in. If you do click on this around the time of the new moon, don't forget to put out your wishes for the new moon too, and do some spell work or anticipation, whatever you need to, whatever you call it. Some people get a little bit nervous about that, but all it is intention. That's all it is. It's just a specific energy put out in a certain way. So don't forget to work with your angels around the new moon, easing this and moving into what it is that you want. But a lot of power comes from this dark goddess energy. You might want to check out Hecate or Hecate, Hecate, or there's another one that I did, Goddess Nyx. So that's 2 that you might want to check out. Again, always listen to your intuition, see where it lies. But that's extra beauty for you. 10 of Swords reversed, absolutely wonderful. So you're coming into this real understanding that you do have the power. And this is baby steps. That the outer, and that we don't want to say that anything that happened to you, you didn't feel. Of course you did, and people can really hurt people. So it's the external really is a reality one way or another, but the way in which we deal with it and the way in which we see it as an experience. You came in at the beginning of your life to experience a lot, so you could see everything and have many different versions of the truth, to be able to stand in your own truth. You didn't come here to be mollycoddled, and you didn't come here to follow people who only had half truths or didn't know what they were talking about. Again, they have every right to do it, and who knows how that's going to work in their own development. We're all different, figuring things out for ourselves, so there's absolutely no judgment. But you didn't come here to sort of follow blindly. You came here to choose your path and to set this new path for you ablaze. So understanding this, that everything that you went through before is part of your experience, gaining that wisdom and moving through it. It doesn't excuse all of the things and the way people treated you. That's not what we're saying. But looking at it objectively, all that experience has given you this wisdom. And we're going to ask you this question now: would you change the fact that how brilliant you are in this moment? Would you change that at all? And the answer, hopefully, is no, you wouldn't change that. And obviously everything you've been through has brought you to this point, and that's just the way it is. It doesn't mean that you need to recreate it. It doesn't mean that you would wish any of that on your worst enemy, of what you've been through. It doesn't mean that any of that needs to circle back and keep happening. Everything's happened. And this has changed you for the better. You wanted these experience, not wanted these experience, but you wanted the experience of living absolutely everything, and you're fearless in that direction. So understanding at the core here that you create your own reality. If there's anything that's going on in the external, pull it in, be responsible for your energy in the internal. If you're feeling, if you're fighting everything, if you're battling everything on the external, I'm against this, I'm against that, this is after me, that's happening within. That's just showing you that there's just certain division within that you need to come back to and release. So let's get you But this is something that you're coming into, and this is something that you're understanding, that you absolutely create your own reality, and you're understanding that at a core level, which is very important, because we say it to people every day and not everybody gets it. They go, oh yeah, absolutely, and then they start making things difficult for themselves by, I'm upset because this person did this and they're doing this to me. It's like, what did we just say? The way in which you react, and again, not taking anything personally from anything else. So, well, let's see what we have here for you. Stretch and expand. That's exactly what you're doing. That's exactly what you're doing. And you're doing this. You're doing it. And honor the lineage. Absolutely. Coming into the understanding of, a lot of you came into, and this is not a small thing, but a lot of you came in to not just clear your past, but as you clear your past, you are well aware that you're clearing your lineage all the way back too. This is not a small task. So you're aware of this, you're clearing your bloodline. Don't forget to call in your ancestors. Don't forget, because they're coming in here as a reminder, don't forget that they are there for you. You can call on them. The bloodline has been cleansed to much of the degree now. So a lot of them who would be willing to work with you have they have this free amount of power to come in and really do so much for you and ease this process for you. Some of you feel as though, and we've done this in the spiritual community a lot, and it drives me nuts too. Now, obviously, there are things that we need to go through, and there's a lot of ugly crying, and it takes a lot of courage to do this spiritual work. But sometimes we go to the heights of it, we go too far with it, and we think that everything needs to be really difficult, and we constantly need to be working on things, and nothing will ever be completely as we want it. We want you to be in that moment, accept yourself exactly as you are. You're going to be rising and growing throughout your life regardless. That's just a truism. But you're exactly where you need to be right now. You're beautiful how you are. Not everything needs to be difficult. So you can bring in your guides, who are your ancestors, the ones that are healed, and say, I've done this for you. Help me out here. I want this to be easier. Ease this for me. Give me all of that beauty that you could not have offered me, when you were alive or in that bloodline, because you didn't know how to do it. Offer me that comfort. Tell me it's going to be okay. They can offer that to you. Ask them specifically, I need help with X, Y, and Z. I want this to go really easy. They will step up and do that for you, and they are in a position to do that for you. So ask for their help too. They're the ones that are stepping up, and they are your angels also. So we have one more card for you here. Let's see. We have the Chakra Love cards. Let's see. But this is a beautiful time for you, Pile 1. And this is a time for great renewal that you've been working towards for a really long time. Signs, there will always be signs to guide you on your true path. And this is the third eye chakra. Absolutely. That's what we just said. And then part of that is what we just said about working with your angels, specifically with your ancestors who are coming in thick and strong right now and saying that they want to work with you too. And they're in a position to do that. They have a lot of power because of you, because of that cleared bloodline. Ask them for the signs. Ask them for help. Don't be doing this if you feel as though you're in the void and you need a sign and you need some help. Ask them. Remember, this is a free will zone. You need to reach out for help. The minute you do, they are there. Don't think that you're doing this alone. And they are here to help you and to show the power that you have in your bloodline now that you've moved forward and it's been healed. And this is your true path you're moving into as the renewal takes place. So that's what we have for you, Pile 1. We are sending you so much support exactly where you are right now in this beautiful, beautiful gorgeousness that you are in. And we're sending you so much love as you go through this. And please stay safe and sane. And don't forget to check out the new, the last couple of, let's see, we talked about the Hecate or Hecate. I've done a couple of readings with her, and also the readings that have been in and around the collective energy right now. So I did one recently that's a July, giving a whatever about July, and just the ones that recently it'll come up. They all work in the collective energy. that we are channeling at the moment. So anything that's been done recently, and anything that, you know, that feels right to you as you go through all of these videos, to whatever speaks to you, go get some more support if you need to. We're here for you on the channel any way that we can. It doesn't necessarily need to be just this one reading, just this one pile. So stay safe and sane, pile 1, until we meet again. You take care. Bye-bye. Hey, gorgeous pile 2. If you chose this Celtic cross, then we are working on your reading right now, which is which angel is around you right now and why. What do they want you to know? So let's start off with the first question. Which angel is around you? So let's see. Oh, this came out. Archangel Gabriel, make time to write down your thoughts in a journal or a pen, an article or book. Creative writing coming in. So that's Archangel Gabriel coming in first of all. I want to choose another one for you, beloved one. Archangel Chamiel, I'm helping you with your spiritual soulmate relationship. Wonderful. Let's move this up here. I love Archangel Chamiel too, because they really work on the heart chakra and working with that love energy too. Brilliant idea. Archangel Uriel, yes, your idea is divinely guided. Please take time to bring your idea to fruition. All right, so few things going on right now. So you have Archangel Uriel, you have Archangel Chamiel, and you have Archangel Gabriel. And of course, as we said in the intro, you can ask any angel. There's actually hundreds of them. You can ask any angel to work with you that you want. These are the ones that are coming up for you now with specific messages. So there's a few different things going on. The first message that I'm getting for you is that some of you are going back into creative projects again, and you have lost a little bit of momentum with creativity. And, you know, it's not that you necessarily doubt yourself creatively wise. Great execution there. English language is going out of the language in itself, just going out the window for me. But it's not that you lack the talent, or you feel as though you lack the talent. It's just some of you have a little lackluster going on. You've done creative projects that have not taken off in the way, or you've witnessed or gone through a certain amount of rejection with them, so lost hope with them, or life got in the way, something happened. Could be a myriad of different reasons, but the actual magic around the creative project itself is still there. But you've gotten it out of the habit of sort of really going for it, or if you are writing in your journal, taking it that one step further and going back into that creativity, taking that journal writing into a book, or taking it one step further and putting it out there. So you're being guided and supported in getting back into putting your truth, putting your beauty and your creativity out there in the world, and knowing that it will have a beautiful reception, the reception that it's always deserved. We want to remind you that you not only are very talented, but you're also a little ahead of your time. So when you were putting out creative projects before, you know, there's a few different reasons why it wouldn't have taken off. It's divine timing, the energy around the book, it wasn't ready yet. It would have fallen flat, even if it would have fell flat, even if it was taken up at that time, or whatever you were doing. If you're acting, or there's a performing element, what you're doing, even being out there and talking in public. Now, of course, that sort of shifted a little bit because of everything that's been going on in the world. We're absolutely slowly getting back into that. So some of it could have been just logistics and getting back into it, but some of it is a little bit more deep-rooted into constantly feeling as though loving the creative process, but having a little bit difficulty getting yourself out there and getting to that next level. Or for some of you, making what you want and who you are in the world, that creative, putting that out into the world and creating that life that you want, doing exactly what you want without having to, you know, have another job, or just doing exactly what you want and being paid handsomely for it, because that's the ideal, right? Being able to do what you want every day and loving what you do. We're here to tell you that it's absolutely possible, and it's going to happen for you. And if it hasn't happened in the past, you weren't ready to do it or see it. There's a certain amount of responsibility, just a little bit of real talk going on there. Pile 2 is a little bit of there's responsibility that comes into, I'm ready to do this, and whatever comes with it. And part of you maybe didn't really want to be in the limelight or the spotlight at that time. You'd wonder what it would do to you. X, Y, and Z, there could be a million different reasons, but part of it was the timing wasn't right for you and the responsibility wasn't there, but you never doubted your talent. And part of it was divine timing again. The way in which you work is that your work is absolutely gorgeous, but it's a little bit ahead of its time. We're shifting in a new paradigm, and there's many different timelines going on, and some people have shifted right into this brand new timeline, and some people are staying back and sort of really focusing on these really old timelines of us versus them and this, that, and the other in order to really bring it to the forefront and move it through. So people are doing different things right now depending on what timeline you're in. If you're here, I'm thinking that you're not in that timeline, which is rooted in the 3D and really developing the 3D and highlighting the 3D so we can move through it. I'm thinking you're probably not in that timeline, but regardless, you've lived in we all live in the 3D world. Of course we do. Regardless of whether you've got that 5D existence, we're still in the 3D world, and bringing that 5D existence to the 3D world is what we're here to do. So if we were supposed to transcend completely, then we would die at death. That's transcendence. But the 3D needs the 5D. So regardless, everything that happened before, when you put out your work or when you were showing up as you and you feel as though you got rejected, some of you may have sort of crawled back in and said, all right, I'm not doing this, or I don't want to do this, or you've been doing it on your own time, but you've not put it at the forefront of your existence. You're being asked to put it at the forefront and have faith that it will take off. And now this is the divine time. Everything you've written is no longer ahead of its time. It's needed now. It's needed now, and it's absolutely beautiful. And also for some of you who have a soulmate relationship or coming into a soulmate relationship, there's going to be a lot of soulmate relationships that are coming in together this year. Feeling September for a lot of you in the fall, but it could be coming in sooner. Being prepared for all of this, of really understanding your self-worth. Now, this sounds absolutely ridiculous, but I'm going to say it anyway. Just going to say it because I don't filter. I try to keep things as really clear, a clear channel as possible, so I don't filter anything, because I think a lot of people do filter and then you get all sorts of skitsy kind of results. But this is what I'm being told. For some of you, and take this if it resonates with you, sitting down and writing down, because words are powerful. When you write it down, it's even more powerful. Write down what you're looking for in a mate if you're not already together with somebody. And if you are already together with somebody and you're looking to level up on that relationship, write that down too. Be as specific as you want to be, but write it down so you can get really, really, really clear as this new person's energy is moving in. Now, this person is already a soulmate. This person's coming in regardless. That's not really why you're doing it. But it's for you to realize that you are A, ready, and that you B, that you deserve this person coming in. So it's just a reminder for you to get that energy ready, that you absolutely know that you deserve this person coming in. So that's a reason for you to do that. Again, we always give you these suggestions. Listen to your intuition. If it feels right, do it. If not, don't even worry about it. So let's get you some more information. So angels are around you. So we've got a little bit of information, but let's answer the question, why are they around you? We got a little bit of that foundational stuff. Let's get you some more information about why they are around you at this time in history, which is like no other. I think we can all agree on that, if we can agree on nothing else. Honesty and communication, beautiful. Look at this gorgeous card, this love pinks and purples, absolutely. And coming in, honesty and communication, coming in with that throat chakra too, and that heart chakra, and expect miracles. What did we just say? It's going to happen. It's absolutely going to happen. And it's funny too, well, nothing's ever funny because it's totally can see it, right? And the brilliant new idea, just want to bring that up again with that unicorn. Brilliant new idea. Brilliant idea. This is your honesty and communication. Your idea is absolutely brilliant. It always has been. Your creative project, whatever it is that you have in mind. And also, not only did you pick this Celtic cross, but it's a necklace. So it sits on the chest, it sits on the heart. The heart and your communication going up there with your throat chakra. Expect miracles. You are here to put your work out into the world. This is a reading about you putting out your work in the world and trusting that it's going to get into the right hands, and it's going to do what it was supposed to do. It's very, very powerful work. Now, no matter what it is, even it's an amalgam of working in the medical field with spirituality, or whether you are creative or a writer, some of it's performance, so it's speaking in front of people too. TED Talks, whatever it is. It's this honesty and communication. The world needs to hear it from your point of view. A lot of people say, well, we've heard this all before. That's absolutely true. When you look at all these narratives in film and Hollywood, what is it, like 6 different narratives? How you tell it, the energy you have around your work will be completely different though. Keep telling that narrative. Keep telling that narrative. So you've got something to give, and you know this instinctively. You know that you're talented. You know that you're gifted. You really do. It's not really that you doubt your gifts. It's what's happened when you've put it out there. So expect miracles. Don't you dare look back in the past and say, well, it hasn't happened to me before. It's not going to happen to me now. It's too late. This all is past. Absolute rubbish, pal, too. If that's what you're thinking, we're here to correct you. This is your time. There's so much going on. Now, for those of you who are just getting to this process and saying, all right, I get it. I want to be creative. I want to do this, but I'm not quite there for putting out the work. That's fine. This is the encouragement for you to start putting down your words. If we can give you nothing else in this reading, it's about taking your ideas and putting them in words. Speaking them out loud is very powerful. Putting them down on the paper is even more powerful. Get everything down on paper. And if you're just not in that creative space, then just keep that journal, keep everything down, because as you start writing, some idea is going to come to you. Something's going to happen where there's going to be a click. There's going to be an aha moment where you go, oh, I get it. This is what I'm supposed to do. Oh my goodness, I get it. It's right there in front of you. You're being asked to write, and also have that honesty and clear communication right there. But for those of you who are, and you could be, some of you might be romance writers, or there's a real romantic streak to you. For some of you, you have a real romantic streak, but you don't really let it out that often, and that's totally fine. You might be a secret romantic, but it comes out in your work in the sort of strangest ways. In a way, it's not outrightly romantic. For most of the times, when somebody looks at your work, they wouldn't say in any way that it was sort of romantic. But there's elements of it, because it does deal with true love. It deals with dealing with your life. It deals with accepting yourself. And in that you get love and you move through it. There's something really magical about the work that you do, or when you bring it to performance, when you bring it to people, there will be miracles. Expect miracles. So as we said in Part 1, it can be difficult to expect miracles when you've been protecting yourself a good portion of your life, and then you've attracted people who are darker frequency or a little lower in frequency. And totally fine, we totally understand, we've all been there, but you get to level up at a life that's sort of a little bit lower, so you don't get to expect these beautiful things and see the world as being particularly magical. We understand that, but the truth is you've come here for bigger and better. So expect magical, expect beauty. You're coming out of that old lifestyle. You're no longer even attracting sort of this old energy in and around you. You might have noticed, I'm sure you have, that the universe has been really sort of pulling things away, and things have been falling apart, or things have been falling away, and sometimes it's way out of your control where you've not really done anything. It's because your energy is shifting. You no longer need that energy in your life. So expect these miracles as new versions of, not even new versions of the old, but just new versions of life come in. And no, you won't be able to compare it to anything you've ever been through. So you just have to trust that it's coming in. So let's get right into some tarot here for you. Get you some more information, gorgeousness. But this is a beautiful time for you. And this would be, you're in your element. If you are creative, you're in your element when you're creative, because it what is it? It fastens you to the world. It gives you this really great foundation. You feel alive. So getting back into that would be wonderful too. So, and everything that you've been through, all this experience, once it gets filtered through and it's a catalyst and goes onto the page, it's going to be incredible. Page of Fire, absolutely. Look at this. You've got the Page of Wands. Here, the Knight of Wands, outgoing, creative, confident, mischievous. News of an exciting new endeavor. Use your originality and ingenuity. What did we just say? Your originality, thinking outside of the box. I mean, this creative stuff coming in. You're confident in who you are. And also just, you know, the other thing that we want to say too, and I just got this very, very clearly, is don't settle. You've been settling a lot. We don't want you to settle anymore. You know, if new opportunities are coming in and you get a few different offers for this and it, sit with it. Don't go for the first offer necessarily if there's other offers coming in. Sit with it. Now, the best offer may not be the one that's paying you the best money. And maybe, you know, it absolutely maybe, but sit with your intuition. There's lots of interesting opportunities coming in for you. Before, there would have been this like, oh, let me grab it. Let me do this. I want to get out of where I am right now and I want to do this. No. Don't go in with that energy. You don't need to. Sit with the confidence. Everybody's going to want to be in and around you and have this energy around you. So see where things fall. Sometimes when we take no action, it becomes very evident and obvious which direction and who we should be working with. So, you know, let people clamber over to get to you for once, right? We've got the Two of Water here. So we've got the Two of Cups. Didn't we just say here with a beloved one coming in? So that's the Two of Cups coming in. Besides this and the Lovers, that's definitely soulmate coming in. Relationship that continues to grow closer, forgiveness, the positive resolution of a conflict. So for those of you who are already in a relationship, but you're looking to sort of level up or gain a little bit more insight and move forward with this person, get to the next level, it's absolutely possible and it's on the horizons. It's absolutely coming in for you. And for those of you who are, you know, you can feel that other person coming in, that soulmate energy, absolutely everything is in and around you, getting ready for it. Just live your life and concentrate on you and the creative energy. When I met my partner, I had decided that I was ready to concentrate on me. I was going to take a year for myself. I was going to stop dating. I was going to, you know, and then 2 weeks later I met my husband. But, you know, the universe doesn't listen to that, you know. When you are ready, the universe, you know, ready to focus on yourself, the universe goes, haha, you're ready for this too. That's just the way it is. But, you know, focus on yourself. Get yourself ready. Again, get really clear about what it is and who it is that you want to have in your life and write it all down. If you're clicking on this, this is a timeless reading regardless, but if you're clicking on this as it's released or as it's uploaded and available for you, it'll be coming in, it'll be on the new moon. So you can do a little spell on the new moon, or what I love to do, and I've done this in the past, is write down everything you absolutely want and be really specific, especially in the wording to the universe. Absolute clarity, exactly what you want. Write it all down. What I do is I show it to the moon, the new moon, and I get the moon to bless it. And then you can sleep with it under your pillow and your pillowcase for 2 weeks. And when the full moon comes up, I take it under the moon again and then I set fire to it. And it's out into the universe. That's just an idea. That's just an old way of doing things. Just giving you an idea of what you want to do. But if you're looking for somebody to come into your life, you can do that. Everything that you want them to be, and be as specific as you want to. Even eye color. Absolutely everything. You would be really surprised, because the thing is, you already know who that soulmate is. You know that energy, and you know what they're going to look like subconsciously. So you're actually really just pulling them into your vicinity, your energy. So you'd be surprised how specific it can be, and you actually get exactly what you want. And again, it helps to clarify, and it helps you to get into that energy, and then let it go. Don't worry about it. The universe is taking care of it. Don't be looking over your shoulder. Is he going to come? Are they going to come in today? Am I going to meet them today? Don't do that. That's just, it's a waste of your time and energy. It really is. It doesn't get you anywhere. The Wheel, Archangel Michael. There you go. Number 10, time of positive change. A situation suddenly moves forward. Fortune is on your side. We have got Expect miracles. We've got the wheel here moving. So you're moving out of one element, moving into a new element of creativity. The creativity is always there. You are a creative person, but it's the acting on it now. Absolutely wonderful. And that brilliant idea that you had, that you felt like maybe, based on when you put it out there, or based on how you felt about it, maybe it wasn't enough, or maybe it wasn't good enough to be out there. Forget those doubts. It is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. You've got that creative confidence, and you've got that mischievous energy. There's something about your work too. There's something about how you present yourself that's a little bit mischievous too. Even if you're on a really serious subject, there's something sort of imp-like with you that's really, really funny and beautiful. And, it gets people really interested. And there's also sort of a dark element that works through your work also, but you can liven it up with something that comes in that's lighter. The energy that you have around your work is it's really beautiful, but it is original. It's outside of the box. It's a little bit odd, really, for some of you, but it's wonderful. It's exactly what you need. It's exactly what the world needs. This is coming in. They're helping you do that. And they want you to know more than anything. So we got the why. They want you to know more than anything that success is happening for you. It was just a matter of timing. And for those, again, who are going, oh no, I've missed the boat and things happen so late for me, whether it's age related or anything else, you are old souls and you are timeless. So we will not have that talk on Unicorn Light Tarot. Nothing has passed you by. You're ready to do. You are ready, literally, to take off. This is a new renewal for you. This is literally a brand new beginning. It's like everything that you went through happened before to get you ready for this moment. And then as we move into something brand new, and you've been feeling this, if you've been resonating with this pile 2 already, you've been feeling that something big is going to happen. There's always been incremental change and excitement, but this is different. You can feel it. This is going to take off. And everything that you've done in the past, even if you haven't written that book yet, that's telling you to go do it. The idea is brilliant. If you haven't finished that book yet, go finish it and put it out there. If you have other books, or whatever, it's a book, we're just, giving you specifics. Whatever you have, or if it's ready to get out there, go get that agent, go get whatever it is that you need to do to put it forward. Even if it's putting forward your new business, or being out in the world doing what you want to do, it's going to be a success. Go do it. This is absolutely the time, and enjoy this time. If you are single, because you may not be single for much longer, and for those of you who are, and there's a considerable amount of you already in a relationship, taking it to the next level will absolutely be happening. Let's do our Cosmic Dancer card here for you. See what we have. Honor the cycles. That's interesting because that came up in pile 1 too. You've got that mysterious sense of honoring the cycles when we talked about working with the moon. So honor your cycles and give and receive. Absolutely. So that's part of honoring yourself, honoring where you are, and also giving and receiving, being very clear about what you want in this relationship, being very clear about the life that you want, and again, not rushing when people come in for offers. Just stand back, let people chase you. Give and receive. You're constantly giving. Please allow yourself and people to, to receive. Come in to receive. You don't have to go for the first offer. Honor exactly where you are. Everything that you've been through before has given you the energy to be where you are. If you're creative, then every experience has gone into your work. So honor where you are. But this cycle is very much about having faith, moving forward, knowing to expect miracles, and knowing that exactly what you want is on the horizon. And honestly, you've worked really hard to get where you are. And it's totally understandable if you feel a little bit dismayed, also incredibly excited, very confused and dumbfounded all at the same time. You are not alone if that's how you feel. But you still feel like there's this sort of sadness, but at the same time this increased energy of excitement. Absolutely, totally understand. What have we got here? Harmony makes the song of life sweeter. And you've got chakra balance there. Harmony makes the song of life sweeter. So reminding yourself that everything that you've been through before is culminated in such a way that you can live the life that you want that's coming in. So do not doubt yourself in any way, and really embrace that beautiful quirky sense of what you have that runs through whatever it is that you're putting out there into the world, even if it's a part or an aspect of you. And remember, things can change so quickly. Expect those good changes though. Sometimes that's happened to you before, where it's 180 and it's like, what the hell just happened? For you, expect those miracles, those beautiful things come in. Expect them, and they will come in. They will happen. So that's what we have for you, pile 2. Sincerely hope that we helped you out a little bit. Don't forget to check out some more, especially for this month. We've got the month of July rundown. We've got a couple of messages, or if you have not checked out any of the readings that I've uploaded recently, that may help too, because that's all part of the collective energy in and around of when we're channeling. Or just check out the channel in, whenever you want to, and see which of these messages resonate with you, even if they're a year old. They're mostly all timeless. I find that even if you're doing weeks, technically it's for that week, but if for some reason you're being drawn to it, that's a timeless message. That's something that you need to hear in that moment. I really honestly believe that every single one of these readings is timeless if you're being drawn to it. So we're sending you so much support exactly where you are, exactly for who you are. I'm really excited for everything that will happen for you. Just keep the faith. Stay safe and sane, pile 2, until we meet again. Okay, pile 3, if you chose the Om symbol of peace, trust, and love, then this is your reading. And again, we are reading which angel is around you at this time and why, and what do they want you to know. So let's get right into your reading. First of all, there's different stages to this reading. We will start off with which angel is around you. And just to remind you from the intro that this is a free will zone. So angels are around you constantly, but if you need their help, ask for their help. You could work with any angel that you want. There are hundreds of them, possibly even thousands. Some of them with crazy unpronounceable names. So these are just a few that are around you now, but feel free to work with any angel that you want. So overcoming difficulties. Archangel Jermiel. Jermiel. The worst is now behind you, and you are surmounting any previous challenges. So that's wonderful. Overcoming difficulties. So they are around you in these times for that. This one's coming out to nurture. Archangel Gabriel, as you nurture a child, you nurture your own inner child. Both activities are important for you right now. So coming out of some difficulties, nurturing yourself, putting your energy first, putting peace above anything else right now. Staying away from drama. Spread your wings, Archangel Ariel. I love this angel. Do not hold back right now. The timing is perfect and you're ready to soar. So that is you right now, Archangel Ariel too. Also getting the energy of Archangel Ariel, working with people's beauty and really being understanding how beautiful you are inside and out, and working with acceptance of oneself. So overcoming the difficulties, giving the energy to yourself that you usually give to the external world, pulling it back within yourself, having complete responsibility for your own energy and healing what needs to be done. And of course we say, and we mentioned this in pile 1, we say this in the community all the time, and sometimes people get it, but it's, whatever you have created on the external is just an indication of what's going on in the internal. We absolutely create our own reality without a shadow of a doubt. If you are warring on the outside and you absolutely believe that all of this is crumbling and all of this darkness is happening and this, that, and the other, and everybody's out to get you, and this is going on and this is evil and that is evil, it's an indication of something that needs to be healed within. There's something going on there. So this is something that you've understood. You've gone in, you're figuring that out. You're really understanding how you work with energy. When you shift perceptions, how that actually works in the physical form, how your beautiful life actually transforms. And nurturing yourself, that's very important. You've given away a lot of your energy. You're taking all of that energy back. Some of you are demanding it back. You don't have to demand it back from the actual person, but you can absolutely work with your angels to bring back some of that energy that you voluntarily gave away, where people took from you. to ground into who you are and really nurturing yourself at that time. And in even really basic ways that we sometimes just don't do. And of course, it's a human thing to do. I'm guilty of it too. And it's something that I've been doing, but it's coming up for you, is just these small things that we can do for ourselves that are just self-care. It could be anything that you want. It could be making a cake and enjoying that. Sometimes you've got to eat for your body, and sometimes your inner child and your soul needs to eat, right? As long as it's balanced, that's fine. I'm all about good, healthy food, but I'm also here to experience everything and enjoy. So I don't want to be afraid of eating anything, or be afraid if things that aren't too healthy, or this, that, and the other. Just get a little bit of absolutely anything in there. So it could be that for you, or it could be something like dry brushing, which is very specific, getting a massage, whatever it is you need to do, face massage, 10 minutes, look it up on YouTube. It helps with stress, whatever you need, a bubble bath, whatever it is you need, put your energy first and see what you can do. And don't do it just necessarily, I have this one evening, I'm going to spend this. Make it a daily self-care, something that you do for yourself constantly, putting your energy first and nurturing, not something that you hold when I have time, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to book a spa and go for a week. Do that too. That's wonderful. But integrate that into your life if you haven't already. That's coming up for you because you're getting ready to take off and do what you need to do. So this is gathering your energy, doing all of this and bringing your energy back to you. And for those of you who it feels selfish, putting yourself first, you can do a lot more if you put yourself first, a lot more. And you're all about giving, and you're all about giving service, and that's wonderful. But putting yourself first, you can actually do more. So this is something that you've been figuring out. You've been releasing a lot, just like Paul too. Some of this releasing has just been happening because of the work that you've been doing. The universe has been taking care of it. So, some things that you've applied for, things that you've done have just fallen through. And immediately there might have been a little bit of disappointment, which is totally reasonable, completely understandable. And then you're like, and then something that you got a little bit more information, a week later, a couple of days later, maybe an hour later, and you're like, oh, that wouldn't have worked for me. I'm glad I didn't get it. Sometimes in your life, the universe gives you the experience. I've put my sights on this because you are visual. You can bring in, abundance-wise, you can bring in, you're manifestors. This is what I want. And you didn't really think about it. You thought about it because you really wanted it. You didn't think about why you really wanted it, and you got it. And you had to go through that experience, right? And then you're like, oh, I don't really want this, and now I've got to go through this. And yet there was something to learn. That's fine. That's the way you did it. The universe isn't doing that with you anymore. I don't know if you've noticed. It's like when you try something on, if it's not working, or there's some kind of resistance there, or you thought you want it, you're about to do it, something just fell away at the last minute. The universe isn't moving you forward because there's nothing more for you to learn from that situation. They're removing you from it. Whereas before, you wanted it, they put you in there. Learn that experience, get it, go do it. Now they're saying, you've done all of this. You don't need to learn anything from this experience. So it makes things a hell of a lot easier for you. And with you being really clear about what it is that you want, we talked about this again, part 1 and 2, really clear, the verbiage that you use with the universe, everything that you want is very, very specific. They answer your call of frequency, and you being specific and being really honest about why you want something, or instead of going for something because you think you can get it versus what you actually want, and then stepping into that frequency and then pulling in that alignment and going for it. This is what you're doing. So you're getting rid of that old stuff. So all of this has been happening in your life, and if anything's falling away, then it's just because something else is coming in for you. And the universe just doesn't want you to waste your time. Can you feel as though time is sort of speeding up? And because a lot of us are on a new timeline. There's several different timelines out there right now, and some people are on sort of an older timeline of the us versus them and things going on. And but that's a very important timeline to transmute and move through. Absolutely very important timeline for people to be on, should they choose to be on it. It doesn't feel as though you're on that timeline, but there's other timelines. But there's some people that are on timelines where things are either super slow, like in the moment it's super slow, it feels really slow, like you can feel like the whole world in that moment, and at the same time when you look back on the last week, you don't know where it all went. you know. So it could be simultaneous in the same sort of time frame. So if you're feeling that, it's because you're on a new timeline. So this is all the old stuff. There's nothing for you to learn from the old timeline. So anything that's just not going to be where you need to be, not going to provide you with any new experiences that you need, the universe is just going to have it fall away. So for any of you that have been through any kind of disappointment recently, there's something new coming in for you, something better coming in for you. Trust that. The universe just doesn't want you to waste your time. So let's get into, which angel is around you and why. So we've got a few angels around you. Archangel Gabriel, absolute bless. Now, Archangel Gabriel is great for new ideas and new sparks and movement forward. So, that sort of popped out, but I'm not convinced that's fair. So, any of these new ideas that are coming in as you move into this new energy of clearing from the old and overcoming these difficulties, you'll feel lighter. Your energy will be lighter. Your mind will be lighter. These new ideas will be coming in for you. And there will be sort of supplemental ideas that will go along with whatever it is that's already going on, and that'll help you. Oh, that's the missing piece of that puzzle. If I do this, and that will take off. That's wonderful. So all these little ways of making this sort of move forward, and also you'll get an inkling, let me just do this and check that out. And all of a sudden a name comes up, you check out that name, they're doing a course, I want to do this course, that's exactly what I was looking for. Everything sort of starts falling in your lap. Again, put your energy first. Don't necessarily make time for self-care. Include self-care at every point during the day. Transformation, look at that. Beautiful stuff coming in. Transformation coming in for you. It's definitely time for you to spread your wings. And ease and grace, I believe Paul 1 got that too. So transformation comes in with ease and grace. So let's do one more for you. Manifestation, what did we say earlier on? I love this card. Look at all that purple. You are amazing manifestors. You absolutely are. It doesn't mean that sometimes when you manifest, you've settled for things and you've gone in all sorts of different directions. Some of you have been sort of all over the place, and that's fine. That was part of the experimental sort of wisdom that you wanted to gain, and that's wonderful. But you're not doing that anymore. It doesn't mean that you won't be living spherically and going in many different directions. It doesn't have to be one path, one way to do things. There's a million different ways to get to God. There's a million different ways to do things. And your opportunities as they come in, the first opportunity may come in for you, and then you may veer off in a different direction, but you wouldn't have veered off in that direction unless you had taken up on that first opportunity. So this is just fantastic time for you to be open, and they're around you because you're coming out of this one period, moving into this time of transformation with this ease and grace and this peace. Of course you chose this peace that you've never had before, because you're not putting up with the drama anymore. You're not taking it on anymore. It's other people's stuff. It's your timeline. It's this, that. It doesn't mean that we're not all one and we don't all come from source and we're not all part of source. That's fine. But, honoring people's past and where they're going, even if they don't match yours in any way, shape or form, honoring them from afar is perfectly fine, especially now. You can say, that's good for you. We want to remind you, I always say on this channel one way or another, there are no right and wrongs. You cannot F this up. You're here to have experiences in the world. You are here to play the game of being human and get out there and do whatever you need to do. And again, there's a million ways to be with God. There's not one way of doing things. You are a sovereign being. No one can take your energy. No one can take your power. No one can tell you what to do. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Whatever you choose, you will be fine. You will absolutely be protected and fine no matter what. You don't have to worry about making one choice and effing it up. We're here to make many choices and never be afraid of failing. But don't be afraid of taking one choice because it's going to hurt you later on, or this, that, and the other. There's nothing that's going to hurt you. You've got this. Make the choice that works for you. Always listen to your intuition, check in with your guides. They will let you know what works for you. But because somebody chooses differently, it doesn't matter. So this is a time for you to expel all that external stuff, bring that energy back to you, take out that drama. You don't need to do it. Know who you are. Choose for yourself. Respect everybody else's decisions. There's no judgment. Everybody's at a different place on different timelines doing their own thing. And whatever they choose is right for them in that moment. Whatever you choose is right for you. You can't say that your choice is right for them if they're not where you are. And it doesn't mean that you're better or worse or anything like that. You can be completely different paths and still have and still be just as valuable to source. So this is your manifestation. Understanding what you truly want and asking for exactly what you want, not what you think you can get, and trusting that the best and most beautiful, most direct, gorgeous path will be made available to you. And you can always check in with your guides too and say to them, you know, whatever opportunities come to me, make sure they're in full alignment with my higher self and what it is that I'm supposed to do. You really have had a lifetime of going through already in your life, regardless of how old you are, a lifetime of going through all these experiences that have brought you so much wisdom, and some of it has brought you a ton of pain too. But you are absolute manifestors. You're also alchemists. You turn that into beauty, or you're in the process right at the end of turning that into beauty, which turns into peace. You don't need to take on everybody else's responsibilities or what they think or whatever. You put your energy first, and you don't have to, everything is an experience. You're not going to go through life without having these experiences, but some of the positions that you put yourself in before, you don't need to keep doing. So, you know, always say to the universe, always say to your guides, whatever comes for me, whatever comes into my life, let's make sure that it's on my higher path. And that experience will be the best experience for you. You've often learned in your past through pain and even through fear. And you've made friends with pain and fear one way or another. And in some ways, for some of you, not all of you, you expect pain and a certain amount of pain and fear in everything that you do because of the way that you've sort of manifested this life. And that's just where you were before. That's wonderful. What we want you to concentrate on, what this manifestation and this transformation is with this ease and grace, we want to pull this up for you again, is for you to move forward and not expect the pain and fear anymore. You can move forward in light and love, and not in this sort of hippy dippy way, in the way that, you know, it's banded around the spiritual community without any responsibility. You've taken that responsibility. You literally pulled yourself up from the grave one way or another. You pulled yourself up. You do understand this. When you say love and light, you mean it. You know, so you can say to the universe, you know, everything alignment with my higher self, love and light. I want to learn from love and light now by putting myself forward and letting go of all that drama. And you know what? If people are choosing whatever they're choosing and they're choosing fear over love, let them. That's fine, because honestly, you know what it's like to choose fear over love. You know what it's like to learn from fear, and that if that's that lesson that they need to learn to transform, that's their lesson, and that is worthy of them choosing that. That's fine, but you don't need to do the work for them. They're just doing this. Stay away from all the drama, whatever's going on, and always come back into you as you're going through this transformational phase. But as you move forward, expect to learn from beauty and expect everything to be okay. Expect everything to be in light and love. You've learned enough from pain and fear. You really have. You know, let's concentrate on that and expect that now in the future. Let's get you right into some tarot as we move forward with this reading here. Beautiful alchemists, absolutely. But you're ready. You're ready. You've been waiting on the wings for a while. 3 of Water, 3 of Cups, a celebration, wedding, graduation, birth announcement, the need to have more fun. You've been going through a lot of this shedding, and in the shedding it doesn't feel so fun. But the celebration's coming in, but in a very specific way. You know, your community is coming into your divine community. In and around you. Now, you've had people in and around you who know who you are, absolutely, who've kept you sane. But, you know, your soul community is coming in as you get out there to really see and connect you to this world. Justice, Archangel Raguel. Fair and just decisions. Do what you know is right. Stand up for your beliefs. You absolutely are here to bring truth and wisdom to this world. And honestly, pardon my French, but we're going to say it exactly as I heard it. You don't take any bullshit. You really don't. You don't take any bullshit. You don't listen to bullshit. When people are bullshitting you, you're just like, Now, in the day, back in the day, you may have reacted to that in a myriad of different ways. Now you just smile and say, knowing that the only person that they're really fooling is themselves. So that's fine. Allow people their bullshit, but do not take it in. But the way in which you articulate yourself, the way in which you speak, the way in which you show up in the world, people know who you are. And with so many sort of fragments going on right now, where people saying this and doing this and just being sort of off kilter one way or another, people really appreciate the way that you show up. And you wouldn't be able to do that if you didn't know yourself well. You wouldn't be able to do that if you hadn't lived that life of pain and fear and knowing, becoming friends with it and knowing how to do this. So, and you're also here to shine a light on the underdog, to stand with the underdog, to do what's right in this world, and to do it with a huge amount of power. And that's what you've been gathering your energy for. So what else do we have? The Six of Air, the Six of Swords. Things are looking up. The end of a difficult situation. My goodness, look at this. So we've got overcoming difficulties. I think this happened in pile 2, where we got these two, not these specific 2 cards, but 2 cards that correlated exactly. Things are looking up. The end of a difficult situation. Taking a trip. So moving out of the old, moving into new. You've got these this beautiful energy of community coming in as you show up into the world for exactly who you are. Not that you weren't before, but this is a new level, this new heights, with this new authority, with this new keep seeing the transportation, some moving. Some of you may be moving, but moving your voice, getting your voice out there further, standing for the truth and standing for, and again, you know, everybody has their own version of truth, but there is a version of universal truth that stands for everybody else's truth, that incorporates everybody else's truth, and you can get right into the crux of that and put it out there. And that's exactly what the world needs. So the way in which you'll be showing up in the world will be different, will be both unique, quirky, beautiful, and again, will not allow in the rubbish. I mean, everybody gets to say what they want, absolutely, but you don't have to bring in all the old concepts of hate and I'm better than you and judgment and whatever it is. We all know what it is. Again, we don't need to bring it into this. Let's see what else we have here too. 4 of Swords here. So you needed to take yourself out of the world for a little bit. And for some of you, you've periodically done this. You've been in the world and then you've taken yourself out for a bit, for a spell, because of the way in which you've lived before. It's taken its toll. You need some time to be on your own, to sort of calibrate all the information, all the experiences that you've been through, because a lot of them have been painful and have been dark one way or another. Then we have the Prince of Wands here. But now you're ready to take in that beautiful energy, that passionate energy, and move it forward. You're ready to take this to the next level. You're ready to take your life to the next level, and the universe is holding you in place to be able to do that. It's almost like, you know, you've been wading through the swimming pool, and now they're holding you up to the diving board so you can jump in and do this your own way. So the way in which you've done this before, because of the way you've lived, you've had to pull out of the world just a little bit, to be on the outside, just to make room, just to understand what's happened to you and integrate everything that you've been through. So you're constantly sort of in, out, sort of shaking all about. But, you know, now that you can calibrate this energy, and you don't have to, there's a way for you to integrate yourself fully in the world, but not be of it. And this is what we want for you. Fully in the world, but then having to protect yourself, you know, come out and see what's going on. We want you in the world, but we want you to show up the way that you want to. So we want you to be supported in that way, not feeling as though it's all or nothing. I'm in the world, I'm out of the world, I'm in the world, I'm out of the world, to integrate. But at the same time, we don't want you, you know, you're highly sensitive. You don't need a lot of people around you all the time. We want you to be in the world and have the career and have the life that you want, where you can be in the world but on your own terms. And this is exactly what you've been given, the gift here, and you're ready to take it with this passionate sort of new beginning, taking what you know and integrating it the way that you want. Before you put yourself into these situations which weren't quite right for you necessarily, but they taught you a lot. But this is about accepting nothing less than what you want. And showing up in the world exactly the way that you want, even if you have to carve that out for yourself, even if you haven't seen that life quite. the way somebody else is living, so you can say, oh, I'd like to live like that, or I'd like that. Even if you've not quite seen it before, you can carve it out. You can be the first one to be able to do it the way in which you want. But this is all for you now. All available for you now. Let's get you a Cosmic Dancer card. Little movement energy in there. But yeah, peace, a new level of peace and a new level of knowing, working with your intuition in this beautiful way, knowing that you're moving forward in the way that suits your higher self. So that's gorgeous. Here we go. Devote. Absolutely. And we want you to say, you've got that heart there. Water energy, nature, water energy for you too. Water nymphs, mermaid energy, all of that beautiful energy. But devote to yourself. Put yourself first, even if it feels selfish. It feels as though that's what you've been doing anyway, but keep doing it, because sometimes you can devote so much energy to yourself and you're doing so well, and then pile 3, out of nowhere, something will, if something happens and then, you're giving all your energy away and this, that, and the other, and that's something that you've done before. Keep putting yourself first. You can still be there for people. You can still show up for people, but you just need to make sure that your energy is first. So devote self-care, time for yourself. Devote whatever it is that you want. Everything goes first. May seem selfish, but it isn't. You can actually help people much more if you're completely aligned with your path and doing exactly what you want to do. The more happy you are, the more you show up in your authentic way, the more, because you're all about authenticity and you are authentic, but you've not been able to integrate that into the world yet. The more you show up in the world as your authentic self, without any apologies whatsoever, the more you will shine the light for other people to do the same. Absolutely gorgeous. All right, we got a chakra love for you. And then we are going to close out this reading. So let's see what last words of wisdom we have for you. So they want you to know the time is right for you to put your energy first, to accept nothing less than what you truly want. And they're around you in this time because they absolutely know without a shadow of a doubt. You've got one here. You've got, without a shadow of a doubt, you've come out from this old energy moving into this new transformational energy here. So calmness. To calm your monkey mind, do not feed the animal. Absolutely. Crown chakra. This chakra connecting you to the world. What do we say? Shut out the drama. Accept people are going to do things the way that they need to do them. And that is right for them. You don't, it doesn't matter. You make your own decisions. You cannot go wrong here. And that's how you're going to get your mind back, your calmness back. Just put your energy first, put your decisions first, that peace will come. And if you need to disconnect from the world for a little bit with everything that's going on, there's a lot of different timelines going on. If you connect into a timeline that you're not on and it's of a lower vibration, that's fine. Disconnect from it. Don't try and work with that energy, because that energy is working with those who are within that timeline, because that's the timeline that they need. May not be the timeline that you need. Come out of that timeline, respect everybody that's there. There's no judgment. Go be you. Get the F out of there. Go back to your timeline and get back to center. Get back to center. Don't let anything sort of trigger you. And if it does, maybe you want to experience that or see where you're being triggered. But for most of you, Pile 3, you've already done the work. So if you're getting triggered, it's because you're getting pulled into a timeline or energy that you don't need to be pulled into. Once you release that energy, you'll find that you're no longer triggered. So you don't really need to look into the triggering anymore. But if there's a little bit of that aspect in there that you need to learn from the us versus them scenario, then look into that trigger and see where you need to release just that final resistance yourself. But come into that calmness, come into whatever that peace of knowing who you are and the decisions you make are right for you. And the more you respect yourself, the more you're grounded in your own authenticity, the more you'll be able to respect others, even if they choose completely different to you, even if you can't really even imagine why they've chosen that life and that way to live. You will still respect that authenticity if you respect yours first. It all comes back to you. It all comes back to devoting to yourself, and your angels are here in this transformation as you move through it. So that's what we have for you, pile 3. Don't forget to check out other readings too, especially for this month of July, or all the newer readings, because that's in and around the energy of the collective energy that we've been working with. But as I always say, feel free to go back into any of the other readings, even if they're a year old or so, because they're all timeless. Even if they're for the week, if you're being attracted to one of the weeks and the weeks was a year ago, it doesn't really matter. They're all timeless. There's always a message for you if you're being pulled toward that one reading. So hopefully we can give you some more support beyond just this one reading and this one pile. So you stay safe and sane, and we support you exactly where you are, exactly who you are. Until we meet again, take care. Bye-bye, pile 3.